Slide 1, title slide. I am pleased to demonstrate the cyber resilience strategy plan of Uninet. My position is that of a Chief Information Security Officer. In this bottom top planning on cyber resilience approach, which we have scheduled to undertake, I will take you through that as an identity in new consolidation, that is the Uninet. We are sufficiently prepared to handle the changing cybersecurity risks in the telecommunications industry. This will ensure that we are not only protect our infrastructure but also secure the failure of our information that is held about our customers and the possibility of no business continuity in the event of an interruption or to our business. Let's begin. Slide 2, Executive Summary. The focus to be considered in this presentation will include the description of long-term cyber resilience plan that I as a CISO will be leading at Uninet after merge the Telecommunications Corporation. The plan involves the adoption of globally recognized guidelines in cybersecurity, such as the NIST Cybersecurity Framework (CSF), the ISO 2701, and the Essential and Maturity Model. These frameworks will help to improve the capabilities of Uninet of anticipate, identify, protect, respond, and recover from cyber incidents. Our focus is on risk management, continuous improvement, regulatory compliance, customer data protection, and ensuring business continuity. This plan will be ultimately place Uninet in a position to stay strong in the telecommunication sector. Slide 3, Cyber resilience is important in the licensed service provider sector. Cyber resilience must be front and center in the case of internet service providers, ISPs like Uninet, since we monopolize our role in offering high speed and reliable internet connectivity to businesses and consumers. Because of more complex cyber threats such as DDoS attacks and ransomware, consider that a single service failure can have an impact on thousands of customers, a reputation loss, or even money. And non-adherence to regulations. By having a comprehensive process of cyber resiliency, we are ensuring that Uninet will directly react to such risks, gaining consumer confidence and business continuity. Slide 4, Cyber Resilience Framework. The policy of our cyber resilience is based on several best practice documents that are internationally recognized. Central to this is the NIST cybersecurity framework that assists us in assuming a risk-based approach to cybersecurity. To remain attention on 5 central functions that we anticipate, identify, protect, respond, and recover. To remain compliant and governed, we supplement this with ISO 2701, and for business continuity, we supplement this with ISO 22301. We also incorporate the Essential and Maturity Model, which targets fundamental security precautions that cost a lot in terms of preventing some of typical cyber threats. This multi-layered strategy will assist in steering the Uninet security work to offer only optional operational resilience but also compliance with regulations. Slide 5, Expectancy Understandings of Cyber Risk. The anticipate phase is the key as it enables the identification and understanding of the cyber risks that may impact the operations of the business of Uninet. In this phase, we use a range of various tools that will help us to understand potential vulnerabilities in the infrastructure. These include penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, and the threat intelligence platform. By engaging with cybersecurity communities such as ENISA and APNIC, we are ensuring that we are up to date with new threats that are specifically in the telecommunications sector. Additionally, these are risk assessment methodologies such as NISP, STSP 830 that will help us evaluate the probability as well as possible impact of these risks and help us to proactively implement mitigation strategies to prevent these incidents from occurring in the first place. Slide 6. Anticipated tools and techniques. To make sure the Uninet is ready to cope with evolving threat landscapes, the various tools and techniques tailored for proactive threat anticipation are used. Penetration testing helps recreate real-world attacks to determine vulnerabilities that can be exploited before they happen. Vulnerability scanning will be done by some kind of automated tools that assess our security at all times and identify places that need to be better. More so, under the skin threat intelligence feeds from reputable sources such as APNIC enables us to stay ahead of possible threats. Such is done with the help of NIST SP 853 framework that helps us to always be on offensive and in the detecting risks and aligning our defenses. Slide 7. Find asset management and threat detection. The identify phase is very important because it is dedicated to the identification of critical assets in the infrastructure of the organization of Uninet, including customer information networks and their internal applications. Uninet applications, we start by identifying these assets and categorizing them so that they are appropriately protected. Uninet has asset discovery capabilities that are based on the guidelines provided by ISO CEC 27002 in order to make sure that they are properly tracked and secured. Moreover, we have a continuous monitoring systems by using our network operations center NOC to identify anomalies and avoid any unauthorized access. Through the ongoing evaluation of possible security threats and vulnerabilities, we will react promptly to any events and protect the data of our customers. Slide 8. Establishing a firm detection system. Uninet has a couple of various detection technologies in use such that to enhance its ability to detect threats at the earliest possible. The monitoring tools that we employ like intrusion detection systems IDS and the security information and event management SIEM manufacturers use to monitor the kind of traffic that gives a mysterious effect to our network and are used to monitor possible indications of into our networks like DDoS attacks, malware software, and unregistered users. We also have NIST SP 80061 guidelines that set our response to reported incidents so that we can deal with mitigating threats effectively in a manner that enables us to respond rapidly to actively deal with threats. The Security Operation Center must play a significant role in addressing processed warnings and making sure that the processing incidents that are actually identified are addressed on the real-time basis. This is a proactive detection strategy that ensures there is a minimal exposure time to any threat. Slide 9. Defining the security controls. The protect stage deals with the establishment of powerful security measures that would avert cyber attacks. The security measure adopted by Uninet is multi-layered, which employs different network security measures including firewalls and intrusion prevention system IPS to safeguard our network and sensitive consumer information. We also use multi-factor authentication MFA and role-based access control RBAC to ensure that critical systems are accessed by authorized personnel only. Also, in accordance with the recommendation provided by ISO 27001, we use a patch management process and secure software development lifecycle SDLC to reduce the threats of vulnerabilities such as offensive methodologies of security are essential in the prevention of successful attacks. Slide 10. Defense Security Controls Framework. In ensuring the security of our vital assets and information of Uninet, a combination of various frameworks is used to ensure security on all levels. The NIST SP 853 framework provides a solid set of controls that covers the physical and technical security aspects. ISO IEC 27002 is focused on IT system security and the fulfillment of regulatory standards. Moreover, what is essential and maturity model focuses on are the basic security measures including application whitelisting, patching and anti-virus software which play a fundamental role in resisting the most prevalent cyber threats. These frameworks operate in unison to provide a defense in depth approach to ensure the security of both customer data and the infrastructure of the company behind the scenes, i.e. Uninet. Slide 11. Response and management. In the response phase, the focus of Uninet is to identify and mitigate cyber incidents as quickly as possible to resolve them in the least possible time. The Security Operations Center SOC is responsible for monitoring for signs of suspicious activity using the ISEM and EDR systems. Once an incident is found to exist, the chain of command is activated, known as the Incident Response Team IRT, for the purpose of containing the eradicating the threat. Additionally, the Crisis Management Team CMT is responsible for the coordination of communication and decision making at the all executive level. After the incident, a post-mortem analysis is carried out by Uninet to evaluate the effectiveness of the reply and seek a way to which will ensure that our response process remains in a continuous improvement process. Slide 12. Respond good practices of incident management. Incident management is an essential process that can keep an organization cyber resilient. The incident management process at Uninet is based on the practices in two standards, NIST SP 861 and ISO 27001, and the implemented to ensure that the response process is highly organized and effective. The incident response team IRT uh, carries out regular drills so that is prepared for an incident response that takes place in real time. Incident data in a real time is also analyzed to assist in enhancing then response time and procedures. In addition, our policy of constant monitoring will offer the advantage that threats will be detected and resolved in real time, which will guarantee a timely and efficient reaction to any possible cybersecurity threat. Slide 13. Recover securing business continuity. The recovery phase will be focused on restoring business critical services in the shortest period achievable after a cybersecurity event. The Business Continuity Plan BCP of Uninet is composed of steps in restoring operations such as network services, customer support, and billing. The Disaster Recovery Plan DRP is aimed at restoring system, applications, and information following serious disruptions. Example of redundancy systems and backup strategies used to Uninet to downtime and accelerate a quick recovery include air-gapped backup. These measures are put to the test at least in failover exercise and tabletop exercise to make sure that the effectiveness and speed of Uninet in a recovering after any type of disruption are put to the test. Slide 14. Recovery frameworks. The recovery strategies of Uninet rely on industry best practices comprising NIST SP 834 and ISO 22301 and offer guidelines on dealing with disruption. The framework focus on recovery time objectives RTOS and recovery point objectives RPOS as a way of providing a mechanism through which the core business functions can be brought back to upon the incident happening again. Regular disaster recovery tests ensure the efficacy of our disaster recovery plans, while data restoration drills make sure our data backup systems are functioning as designed. By adhering to the frameworks, maintenance facilities such as the Uninet are able to ensure a quick recovery from cyber attacks with minimal service disruption. Slide 15. Governance. Cyber resilience, a much more business strategy. Aligning cyber resilience with business strategy is vital to ensuring the security of organization is guaranteed to support the business strategy in the long term. The CISO plays a critical role in the bringing cybersecurity goals into the large business strategy. The ISO 27001 and NIST CSF governance frameworks offer proper guidelines to integrate security and operating goals. COBIT 2019 makes certain that its IT governance is helpful in business decision making. Periodic reporting to the board keeps the senior management informed of security activities and strategies in control of risks in the line with the industry standards. This comprehensive strategy is integrated into business of Uninet. Slide 16. Risk management, risk identification and risk mitigation. The element of effective risk management constitutes cyber resilience. Some of frameworks that Uninet uses to constantly assess risk and mitigate it include ISO 31000 and NIST SP 853. This strategy can be applied in Uninet because it assists the organization in devoting most of resources to the most critical threats, which include vulnerability management, third-party risk assessments, and supply chain risk management. Uninet is proactive in preventing risk. Threats are likely to undermine the safety of systems and data services. Such proactive risk management should also help organization to stay ahead of upcoming lessons as a way of ensuring the organization is in a good cybersecurity position despite of the dynamics. On the left we have the risk of identified and on the right shows how to mitigate certain events. Slide 17. Legal framework compliance. The strategy of cyber resilience used by Uninet involves tough compliance with the relevant regulations and laws. The implementation of ISO 27001 and adherence to the Australian Privacy Principles (APP) is allowing Uninet to prevent the leakage of customer information and ensure the privacy is upheld as per the requirements of OAIC. In addition, the compliance with industry regulations such as the security of critical infrastructure Act SOCI is also a reasonable guarantee that Uninet remains viable both in terms of its legal and operational standing. The level of compliance is maintained by regular internal and external audits, bearing in mind that compliance is necessary in order to uphold the sensitivity of Uninet to changing statutory requirements in order to ensure that customer is not jeopardized by weak data and protection practices. Slide 18. How it's all work framework integration. One of the elements of ensuring that Uninet has a comprehensive and integrated cybersecurity approach is the incorporation of different cyber resilience framework NIST CSF 27001 and the National and Maturity Model. These structures are also interdependent to make sure that there is a structure in place such the risks that are dissected and resolved and countermeasures including incident response and recovery capacity are at hand. This assimilation offers cybersecurity to be imposed across the board of all the levels of organization, including governance and the compliance. Through technical and operational means, these frameworks combined ensure a successful and effective methodologies to cyber resilience by Uninet. Slide 19. Knowledge gap and critical issues and future directions. Although the cyber resiliency approach of Uninet is good, it is not without its portion of challenges. Issues that include the constant development of cyber threats. We have to revise our security practices and technologies periodically in order to cope with this. Vendor management and third-party risk remain significant problems since Uninet keeps expanding its partnerships. In the future, we will aim to adopt emerging technologies including AI and machine learning to enhance our overall security monitoring capabilities and response capabilities. Besides cyber security training of the inside staff members, our cyber hygiene will become one of our new and crucial action points in the future. The above measures will make sure that Uninet will resistant to the emerging and changing threats. Slide 20. Conclusion and question and answer. Summing everything up, the cyber resilience plan that we put together on the behalf of Uninet will be a combination of best practices and models like NIST, CSF, ISO 27001 and the essential aid to build a secure and resilient organization. The method will facilitate the management to anticipate and identify cyber threats in Uninet, safeguard and recover them. Constant training and continual monitoring and tying up to business goals will ensure that Uninet remains a reliable service provider in the future. I am open to answering questions that you may have regarding the strategy and its implementation. New